Hello guys, good day to you all. This message is for African immigrants living in Europe. I'm in Germany and I don't like the way we African immigrants behave here. Not just the whole of Africa. I'm not saying one country, I'm saying all Africans. All Africans that are here during this crisis. How can you guys, the ones in Germany, Hamburg, or wherever you are in, asking for pocket money or whatever the reason is, if you don't like EU, if you think the government are not treating you nicely, go back home, go back to your country, go back to wherever you come from in Africa. The government in Africa don't care about the poor people. They don't give a fuck about you. If Africa was so good and perfect, none of the African will be here, apart from the ones that are studying, the ones that are working here, schooling here. Okay, fine. There are no government in Africa that pay child support, pay single mother, or even pay any immigrant. Someone was making it. I saw a lot of African people complaining and saying they want money, they don't want voucher for free food. People, there are villages in Africa, there are poor people in Africa that don't have food. There are people sleeping on the street with this coronavirus, and the government in the EU are providing for everyone in their own little way. I'm not taking anything from the government in the EU, but seriously, they are doing a good job, because even in my country, even in Africa, our government don't care. The public hospital, the government hospital in Africa, there are some public hospital in Africa that you want to see a doctor, you have to be dying to see a government doctor. And in some cases, the bed, I don't even want to talk about how dirty and unkept the hospital is. And you're here, the government is paying you. You're an immigrant, this is not your country. Germany is not for you. Italy is not your country. France, any of the EU, Denmark, anywhere. If the government are being nice to, if the government even give you 5 cents, you should be grateful, because your government in Africa don't give you 5 cents. I go on Facebook and I see video of African people crying, hungry. If not for our celebrity or some of our good Samaritans that's been helping, they've been helping the poor people the little way they can. You are here in the EU, in the Schengen area. The government is helping you with your rent, helping you with your child school fees, helping you in their own little way. €1 is money. If African government give their citizens €1 every month, even every 2 weeks, or let's just say every week, no African people will be running here and claiming an asylum. If you think Europe is bad for you, you should be here for 70 years. They refuse to give you documents. They did it. There are a lot of African people that actually work, they study here, they work here. They make goods, a lot of things from themselves. They pay their taxes. Government don't pay shit for them. Government don't pay shit for them, but you don't see me complaining. Then you say people that government are helping you. We should be worried about this coronavirus of a thing, but no. My brothers and sisters from Africa, they are worried about money. They want to send us to some villages. Villages in Africa don't have lights. You can't even drink water. I can drink water from my kitchen. Look, I can take water and drink from my kitchen sink. In Africa, you cannot take water from your kitchen sink. People don't have water. There's no light. There's no good internet. There's nothing. And you come here and blame the government here. They are being racist to us. There are white people in Africa. The white people in Africa, are they taking benefit from African government? Do African government pay their rent? Do African government give them any money? They go there for work. You don't see them going to the government official essay and do, we are white people in Africa, government of Africa, you must give us money, pay our rent, because your African people are in my country and my government is helping them. No, they don't do that. So before you judge me or before you complain and say there are a lot of white people in Africa, there are a lot of German in Africa, there are a lot of Italian in Africa, there are a lot of this one Danish in Africa, there are a lot of Norwegian here. Take a moment and think back. While you are saying it, also think and imagine this. Reason it yourself, okay? Just calculate this, weigh it, put it up, Charlie, put it down and say to myself, those white people, white women and white men in Africa, is the government paying their bill? Did they go, are they in Africa seeking for an asylum? Has the government ever given them a roof over their head for free? Is the government paying their child support? African government or not European? So if the EU government, the whole of the Schengen EU are doing for immigrants, it's enough. You are not supposed to complain at this critical, at this time. People are complaining about pocket money. We don't have, they want to send us to a village. I've been here for 17, they did not give me paper. You must be doing something wrong. That's why they didn't give you paper. If the country is so fucking bad like you people claim it is, yeah, they are racist in Africa. They are racist everywhere. Africa is corrupt. Policeman, even a police officer here will see you and respect and say, sir, can I have your paper please? In Africa, police don't say, sir, ma, can I have your paper please? They will tell you, give you, what inside your bag? They start to want pointy go at your face. They don't respect you. So we Africa too, we are even more racist than they are. They're not be, if they are being racist to you, they will pay your bill, pay for your children, pay for you. Please, this is a critical season. A lot of people have died. Don't we Africa have conscience? A lot of people, if you die, you're here in the EU, where anything is possible, where help, you can get help from the government anytime. Even if it takes a while, at least you will get your help. You are crying. What about those poor people back home in Africa? They're hungry. They don't even have common, ordinary water, light, no light, electricity, no light, no food, no nothing. How would they? I don't know if this is crazy. What about them? The government is not giving them shit, 1 cent, 150 cents in euro, dollar, pounds, nothing. How would they feel? And you are in a country with light, good road, you can drink the water and not think of having malaria tomorrow. You can go to the hospital and the hospital is clean as your living room. You can even sit down in the hospital floor and eat. Can you do that in African government hospital? Is it not private hospital? I have even went to a private hospital in Africa and I didn't have money at this point. I was sick. This hospital, this doctor, instead of letting me finish and telling him how God, a way to pay him back, he asked me if I don't have money, then I'll have to pay back with my body. And I was very sick. Please, African people, we should stop being ungrateful. This coronavirus thing is a big thing. This virus is destroying everything. Instead of worrying about pocket money, we should be thinking about how this has been affecting the economy. When this virus will die out, when the cure will come, a lot of people would suffer. The money would... The economy is going to drop. People have put some money to this a lot. I even donate in my own little way. What's that? My phone is not here. It's called Share Me. They'll be sending message. Any little thing you have, you can donate. We need to be helping the government right now, not fight them, especially the ones that are taking something. The ones that are taking something, it's okay. Yes, I know Africa is hard. Please don't be ungrateful. Don't be ungrateful because your government, if your government in Africa, in my Africa was good, you will not be here. You will never be here. Why stay in a country for 17 years if they are so nasty towards you? If you're not taking anything from them. I am not taking anything. If anyone, I should be the one complaining. But you guys have the guts to complain because well, the government have given you anything. You've taken a lot and you're still being greedy. If you don't like Europe, France, Germany, Italy, Denmark, Norway, anywhere in the EU area, please, my African people, please, if EU is not doing you good, go back to your perfect Africa. Go back there. When I look at video on YouTube or Facebook, I cry. I was like, oh my God. When this virus of the thing broke out, I was like, oh, these poor people in Africa, they will suffer the most. Even now in Africa, in Yam, it's like, guys, potatoes, they are sweet potatoes that are being made in Africa. Food has become expensive. If you ask the market women, they will tell you coronavirus. The borders are closed, but this food are being made in Africa. Do you blame the people if they increase the food? Because the government don't care. They are using every means they can to make money. Some even, I saw a video, a woman said, oh, I'm poor. Coronavirus won't catch me because I'm poor. It's only good for the rich people that can travel on air. When you're in a country that actually give you money, feed you in their own way, African government don't give you shit. If you don't work in Africa, you don't eat. Even there are times when you even work, you don't get paid. You don't complain, you don't shout, government this, government this. Why are we doing this? We should be coming together and say to contribute in our own little way. Why are people trying to con the government at this point, lying? Some will even go to the office now and start lying that they have lost their job where they have not, just to get extra money. Do we really need this? Please, for the lazy youth, for the bad apple, if you are bad and you think the country is not doing you any favor and you are still here, man, you're really crazy. Because if the country is not doing you good, go back home.